Ford Field's first WWE event since WrestleMania 23. Detroit's always been one of those cities for WWE. They always put on a show when given the opportunity. And I don't know how it went on TV, but I personally went to SummerSlam. I know I'd probably regret not going, not because of the match quality, but the experience. I wanted to talk about it on Twitter, but I had some phone problems, let's just say. My experience is a little biased, of course, but it's not to the point where I was enjoying everything blindly. There was some stuff I didn't like on the show. But right now, let's get into it. The first match on the show was between Logan Paul and Ricochet, the most viral feud in WWE history as they called it. Match-wise, it was nice. Logan Paul wrestles so well that you really forget he's an influencer. He's really professional, and I'm not sugarcoating it or anything. Great heel, but a tremendous performer as well. It's easy to hate him, and watching the show in the stadium, man looked even more unlikable. Ricochet looked amazing. I think it's great that he's got this platform because he's one of the most unique wrestlers on the roster. He's really grown on me in the last year because yes, he's not the best talker or the most charismatic outside the ring, but you need variety. Absolutely sensational. As good as the match was, I think it was missing a little in the final part. I think it's because Logan had to catch a flight to make it for his brother's fight. I expected a finale like the Royal Rumble moment where they give it their all. Instead, Logan Paul dropped Ricochet with the brass knuckles to win the match. He hadn't won a singles match in about a year, I think. Ricochet winning would have been cool, but their main priority is Logan Paul. He's the one who brings the attention, so him winning makes sense. The next match was between Brock Lesnar and Cody Rhodes, the finale in the trilogy. I'm glad I got to see this one live. I never seen Lesnar or Cody live, but to see them face off was amazing. I want to attend this show mostly for this match. You don't know how many matches Brock has left. I had to see it. Cody's entrance was ridiculous. This was the entrance everyone wanted to see. I thought Roman's entrance would have all the attention, but it seems like the American Nightmare had him beat. This dude seems like a way for Lesnar to test if Cody's truly the guy. They never outright said it, but judging by the post-match sequences, I'm going with that. Lesnar was a ravaging beast. Cody couldn't find ways to overcome him because he would just throw him around. They teased a count-out loss, and a Cody comeback seemed bleak. He was getting F5'd on the floor, the announce table, and still managed to fight back. The parts where Cody was fighting were so well done. I like the setup of the match. They made it seem like an uphill battle just for Cody to explode and prove that he's capable of outright beating Brock Lesnar. Lesnar ripped his pants like he was SpongeBob, but he put in a good performance. Amazing performance from both men. I know I might be biased because of the fact I was in attendance, which, let's be honest, that's the case. And to see a rare moment where Brock Lesnar shows respect to his opponent was awesome. It kinda has me worried Lesnar just walks away. I hope we see more of him, but for Cody, he passes the test. Who knows where he goes from here? Maybe the World Heavyweight Championship? I don't know. We'll see. The next match was a Slim Jim Battle Royal. It was just a way to get many of the guys on the SummerSlam card. Watching it, man, it kinda felt dull. LA Knight had the most positive reception. AJ Styles was second, but I didn't really like this match much. Omos was the regular big guy who was targeted for most of the match, but I think we all knew who was going to win this one. AJ Styles was eliminated by Karrion Kross, who had already been thrown out. Chad Gable was pretty popular, but LA Knight was the winner as expected, and I'm interested in seeing where he goes from here because the crowd absolutely loves him. This guy is going places. All WWE has to do is book him straight, which isn't really a tough task, but we all know how they do things in WWE, so we'll see. The next match was MMA Rules. Ronda Rousey faced Shayna Baszler. The least interesting match on the card. I didn't care much about it because these two had an abrupt split. It was pretty strange, not to mention the MMA thing. The work itself was well done. Interest-wise was an entirely different story. I was pretty zoned out by this match because it was pretty plotting. I also thought the MMA thing would lead to a quick finish. Instead, it was whatever. The crowd were taking breaks. They didn't care. They're chanting, "This is boring," and Shayna won it. I think it should have meant more than it did, but Ronda Rousey is not the same Ronda we knew from her previous WWE run. But the "This is boring" chant was pretty crazy. Like, damn, mans didn't like it. The next match was the Intercontinental Championship. Gunther defended the gold against Drew McIntyre. This match had some pretty high hopes since Gunther on pay-per-views always shows up. McIntyre is finally back and his return was much needed. But about the match, I thought it was good. It lacked time to get to that amazing level. Not to mention the work wasn't entirely unique or anything like that, but I like what I saw. It was never going to get to that classic level, especially because Drew just came back after a while, but they did good. Gunther winning wasn't surprising in the slightest. He dismantled Drew, who I personally feel is heading towards a title charge, maybe even with a heel turn, but it's the best case scenario for the moment. Gunther's probably going to break the IC title record. It's just tough seeing who's going to dethrone him because it could be Drew McIntyre. It could be somebody on NXT like Braun Breaker. We don't know, but it's a record-breaking run and he's done a great job. So there's that. The next match was the World Heavyweight Championship. Seth Rollins defended the gold against Finn Balor. 7 years in the making. Finn Balor's greatest triumph coincided with his greatest tragedy. winning the Universal Championship but suffering a shoulder injury by Seth Rollins in that very same match. He was laughed at during his worst moment in relinquishing the gold, and despite living in the past, by his own words, he was looking towards the future by winning the world title. I had a lot of hype for this match. I knew that it was going to be better than their Money in the Bank match because of the situation, and it was. It was a good match. It was great. Not a good match. It was great. Balor was very aggressive here. The crowd was into the match. The match kicked into high gear with the near falls. Some of these were way too insane. And watching it in person, I legitimately thought the match ended many times, especially when the Judgment Day interfered. I thought Balor had it in the bag. There was this one moment when he hit the coup de grace. I thought the referee counted the 3. And watching this match, I can see why Balor's favorite team is taunting him. He bottled it once again. It was the right moment for Balor, and I don't think he'll have a moment as good in the near future. That said, it adds layers to the Judgment Day story. Damian Priest looking disappointed in him botching his opportunities. I was like, oh, they're going to beat him up right now. But they didn't. This Balor and Seth feud doesn't need a third match. I think they've gone past the need for that. It's all about how Priest will react now. As for Rollins, it's tough to say who his next challenger is. Drew McIntyre, Cody Rhodes. But my guess with this title reign is that he needs to establish the belt. Me personally, I prefer a title change here, but it is what it is. Maybe Balor does get a title victory against Damian Priest. We'll see. Great match though, the best match on the show, no doubt about it. The next match was a triple threat match for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Asuka defended the title against Charlotte and Bianca Belair. A strong selection of talent. Solid match. I'm going to say this right now. I watched the show live, so my opinion on it is a bit skewed. I was kind of confused to see the reaction online. I liked it more than most. There was some problems with the match. It was not special. Hell, it's probably disappointing because of the talent and stage, and it was, to be honest. But I thought it was enjoyable enough. Seeing it here, Charlotte wasn't really on point. She lacked the fine consistency from her previous performances. Bianca's injury moment. It almost felt too real. Charlotte and Asuka didn't really have a great moment afterwards. It felt like they were just going through the motions and just doing whatever. Turns out, it was a fake injury. Asuka spits the green mist, and Bianca capitalizes to become the new champion. She's the new champion. Everyone's all confused. They're like, oh, Asuka's title reign ended? What the hell? Then the lights go out. And Io Sky came out and cashed in the briefcase. Bayley did the hard work, and all Io had to do was blast Bianca with the briefcase to her injured knee and hit the moonsault to become the SmackDown Women's Champion. Amazing moment. Dakota Kai was there too. It was impressive stuff. And to see Io Sky, somebody who almost left WWE, come back and actually win the Women's Championship is nice. It's redeeming. It shows that she's got a bright future ahead. And we'll see. Money in the Bank holders sometimes don't have the greatest runs. But I think with Io, I'm optimistic. I think it'll be different this time around. Great moment. And the main event, Roman Reigns defends the Undisputed Universal Championship against Jey Uso in a tribal combat match. This felt like closure to the Bloodline arc. Jey back in the position where it all started as a rival of Roman Reigns. The crowd was so excited to see him, it was pretty hype. Roman Reigns' entrance took a year as always, and the tribal combat thing was symbolic. It was about Jey overthrowing Roman and in turn setting himself free and becoming the new tribal chief. About the match, I didn't really like it that much. It was too damn long. 36 minutes. What the hell are we doing in this 36-minute match? Like, when you look at the time, it's like, oh, this could have been done in 17 minutes. What didn't help was that the action was few and far between. It was just Roman standing around, and even during the part when they wrestled, the crowd was so damn dry. Solo interferes, actually realizes maybe Roman is the villain here, as he accidentally speared him earlier. Jey was at the mercy of Solo Sikoa, and it had him thinking long and hard. Jey builds momentum after taking out Solo, hits the splashing out of everyone to cost him the title. It was his brother Jimmy. Of course it had to end this way. He super kicked Jey and Roman took advantage to retain the title. I hated this ending. Not entirely because of the Jimmy heel turn. I kind of expected it, but because of how this match ended the same way Roman's matches have ended in the last 2 years. I thought he was going to destroy Jey and stand tall over him with his blood on his hands. It feels like they're running on the Bloodline name without much deep thought into things. And this story between Jimmy and Jey is a WrestleMania story. I don't see it getting there without getting stale. But as for the logic of Jey getting attacked by his own brother, it's a strange one to explain because it doesn't really make sense. It didn't help that the match was dull. And as I said, I don't think this was the right time to do a Jimmy heel turn. I think that should have been done later on. This match was supposed to have no interference, and if you follow the story, nobody from the family was supposed to get involved. They violated that, which I don't even know. And the match felt like a finale on paper, but action-wise, it felt pretty soft. Brock and Roman last year was how a final match should be. I'm not expecting the ring to get flipped over, but there should have been more aggression. Here, they could have gone with Roman Reigns destroying Jey and standing tall and moving on. I think that was the better ending. So yeah. Alright, that's SummerSlam. This was a strange show. On paper, this should have been a world beater, an amazing show. But it wasn't that. I had so much fun watching it though, live in the arena. So my opinion on it is a bit more positive than most of the people out there. Logan Paul and Ricochet missed the final parts of the match. They just missed a little there. I think that match could have been amazing if they just added a little bit to it, but it is what it is. Finn Balor, Seth Rollins. I think Finn Balor was pretty dumb out here. It was a bottler. He botched it in the final moments. Asuka, Charlotte, and Bianca Belair should have been a better match. It is what it is. And of course, the main event was a weird one. I didn't think it should have gone that long as it did. It was very plotting and it was very unnecessary, so yeah. SummerSlam was a decent show on paper. It's just people expected more from it because it was in Ford Field, a big stadium, and the matches on the card. Cody And Brock, I think that was a very satisfying match. I do wish it was the main event with Cody Rhodes retaining the title, but you can't do much about it. I expected a bit more from the pay-per-view. I had fun watching it, though. I thought it was decent enough, so yeah. Alright, what you guys think of SummerSlam? Please comment down below. That's it for this video. Make sure you hit the coup de grace on the like button and perhaps the spear on the subscribe button. Peace. I'm out.